My name is Laurie Strand Bridgeman, and I am the Youth Harvest Project Director. I've been with Youth Harvest for 8 years, and 6 of those as the director of the program. The Youth Harvest Project is simply explained as a therapeutic, service-oriented work program for high school students between the ages of 15 and 17, sometimes 18. So we work with students primarily involved in youth drug court or youth court, and also from Willard Alternative High School and other community referrals. I really love that age. I love the age where they are insightful and able to talk adult to adult fairly well, yet their developmental process is just in full swing. Their reasoning, their frontal lobe isn't quite fully developed yet, so they're always trying to figure out, decision making is so challenging for them still, and they're trying to gain such a huge amount of independence so that they can enter the adult world, and it's such a hard time. It's such a hard time to navigate. And so I think I just love that a little bit of their, it's just such a chaotic time. So I just love the age group. The people that are putting on a program are just a very small part of what actually makes the experience happen. We're just there to provide the experience, and then they get to participate in it. So their hands are in it, their feet are in it. And it's not like sign here, do these things 3 times a day. It's just very experience based. I think a big part of the work here that they do is being able to make the mistakes and letting adults stand back, and then being able to process those in just a kind, reflective sort of way without shaming or blaming. Just kind of being able to provide an opportunity for reflection, which I don't think is often a gift that they have. And it so depends on kid to kid. I'm not in the game of forcing kids to talk about things, and such a huge part of the therapy piece is not talking, is just being here and, planting a seed in the greenhouse in the spring and then transplanting it to the field later that spring, and then now, seeing that pepper that you transplanted. I was just talking to a kid earlier this week at a mobile market that said, "Don't you guys remember planting these seeds in the spring? This was the variety that I planted. What kind did you guys plant?" And being at a mobile market and being able to share that with the patrons that are there, that's so much of that's the experience. There are often kids that have higher needs, that need more support on a day-to-day basis for what's going on outside of the farm. So it's more of we work with such a small amount of kids, 8 to 12 each season, so that we can really provide that individual support, and how that needs to look for each kid is very, very different. What I hope is that it's integrating the skills, the communication skills, the conflict resolution skills, the how do you have a honest conversation with a person. They can hopefully take all of that and integrate it into their life. So it's a constant kind of, like I said, reflection process where they can hopefully take it and come back and get more feedback. I think the biggest reward is if it's easier for them to talk to an elderly person at the end of the season, that's a huge reward. If they can somehow step back in a difficult conversation and try to see where someone else is coming from, that's a huge reward. If they learned how to make a simple stir fry, so they know how to make one meal, that's a huge reward. I find myself just in love with these kids, and also knowing that it's not for all of them. That this place isn't the end-all be-all and a savior to all of them. Just letting their journey just be their journey, and knowing that it's going to be whatever it's supposed to be for them. And hopefully I can provide some sort of guidance and, again, opportunities for them to be reflective about themselves. But also, it may be really transformative for someone to be able to weed carrots and have that time to think, and others just may never get there, and that's totally fine.